Yo, what's up? It's Marwin, making smothered chicken today. Smothered chicken should be an easy dish. It's just a few ingredients, really not a whole lot to make it, but for whatever reason, I've had a lot of smothered chicken that just didn't meet the test. It was either the gravy was too bland, maybe too watery, or it could have been over seasoned with too much salt. The chicken texture was off, not well seasoned on the chicken either. So there's just a lot of different problems you can encounter, even though it's a really simple dish. But thankfully, I got a few tips. Gonna show you how to make a really nice, tight smothered chicken that's flavorful, and tender with the texture just right on point. The key really is starting with chicken thighs as opposed to chicken breasts. I prefer thighs because it's harder to overcook them and have really dry chicken. Also go without the skin because again, texture matters when you're cooking chicken. And since you don't have the opportunity to really crisp up that skin and keep it crispy, I just go without. The liquid in the gravy is going to really soften it up. It's just going to make it just a really not good eating experience. So I just avoid it altogether. The other thing you want to do is you got to make sure the gravy is tight. Right, you want that gravy to be balanced but well seasoned. You want it to be really thick but not too thick. You don't want it watery. So there's just a lot to work with there, right? A lot that can go wrong. The other thing is you want the flavor, right? And so you're going to get flavor from a couple of different places. Obviously butter helps, but you can't just throw a whole bunch of butter in it. That's just not how we do it. So I change it up, added some different types of different levels of onions. So I have yellow onions, and I got the contrast or the balance against that with some leeks that I chopped up. And then obviously garlic and some of the seasoning. I keep the seasoning very simple. I want a nice smoky paprika, some salt and pepper, and I like allspice. That's kind of like my all-purpose seasoning when I cook. I tweak it here and there depending on what the recipe is, but that's what I start with, right? So to get that proper thickness, you're gonna have to add some flour to the dish. I'm not using cream in this dish. Again, I'm trying to keep it simple, so I'm using a stock, but I rely on the flour to help thicken things up. The other thing I'm gonna do, again, I talked about flavor being so important. I'm using miso paste. I got a dark miso paste, they got light, they got semi-light, whatever, right? But the miso, it's got like that, they call it umami flavor, just really heavy on the savory, more complex. You probably can get away with using a Worcestershire sauce as a substitute, but I really like miso if you can get it in your grocery store. It'll be like with the in the Asian aisle, right? If you're looking for it, but it just adds like that color. It adds flavor, and also there's just like that deep aroma that you get from adding it. So that's really it. And so those ingredients, the leeks, the onions, the miso, the butter, the spices, all come together over time. So I like to let my gravy chill for a minute, just simmer before I add my chicken in. And then when you add the chicken, the flavor from the chicken leaks out into the gravy. The flavor in the gravy infuses the chicken, so it's got this mutual exchange of flavor, and things just explode and just go off. And what you end up with is this amazing smothered chicken dish. Flavor, texture. It's got the smells. And I mentioned that gravy is the bomb. The gravy is the bomb. You want to make a big batch of the gravy so you can have some left over, and you can use it in other dishes. Whether you're making some meatballs, you're making ground steak, whatever it is you're doing with it, you want to have it on hand. Serve mine over rice. If you got mashed potatoes, perfect for that too. But keep it simple. Have some biscuits or some cornbread on here because you're going to want to do a lot of sopping with that sauce. And that's it. If you're digging the recipe, leave a like, a thumbs up. Most importantly, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button, and you get updates to your inbox weekly when I post. Thanks. Peace out.